So, across the street here. Today is one of those days, right? Like yesterday I was feeling a little bit better, but I think that was because I woke up a little angry about everything, which, happens despite all the acceptance and love and all that stuff. Your emotions go up and down. And yesterday I was a little angry. That's okay. But anger helps with the sadness, right? But again, like I was talking about yesterday, that's part of the grieving process. Talking about denial yesterday. Anger was also there. Right? Denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And we move through them. People think, some people think that the stages of grief, you go in an orderly line from one to the other. And that's just not the way it is. It's a nicer day today. It's near in the low 70s, which is good. I'm just feeling sad, which is okay. I can accept that. I'm listening to Michael Singer per usual, and he was talking about how, I think I talked a little bit about this yesterday too. Emotions, the heart, if you will, allows us to experience life fully and deeply and richly. And that happiness and all the emotions we enjoy those are great, but we have to be willing to experience the rest of them. And not just willing, but okay with. That's part of life. This is part of creation. This is part of our experience on this earth. We don't have a very long time. And sadness and all that stuff is part of it. And, well, it's not like you enjoy it. Seeing it and respecting it and being amazed by it is the ideal, right? It should be okay whether you're sad or whether you're happy. All of it should be okay, because that's just life. And it's not that means that you don't feel happiness, you don't feel sadness. It just means you're okay with whatever you're feeling. And I am working on that. It's preferences, as Buddhism says, attachments are the cause of suffering, right? I don't want to feel this. Well, tough shit, you feel it. You can not want to all you want to not want it, but it's happening. Like this event. I don't want it to be happening. Tough shit. It's happening. Now you can either accept it and see it and honor it as part of life, or you can fight against it, but you can't fight against it because it already happened and it's not going to change. And that makes me sad, but the sadness is normal and it's okay. So I think the whole, I don't know, there's a lot of reasons I've been talking about that I'm okay with the breakup, and that I see it as a beautiful thing, and I see our relationship as a beautiful thing, and I see everything that has to involve with that as beautiful. And I'm going through a lot of spiritual growth because of it, and I am glad for that. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that the universe is putting this in my life. Michael DeJoseph, no, ignoring feelings is not the way to go, because they're always going to come back. If you push them away, that means you're holding on to them. They stay in you. What I'm working on right now is letting go. And what that means, I finally figured out in my life what letting go actually means, or how to do it, let's say, is you feel the feeling start and your body tenses like it does with any sort of pain. In general, we're going to tense in our hearts and our, for me, a lot of it is in my stomach. I can feel it tense. And when you start feeling that, take a deep breath, you relax your shoulders, and you unclench anything that's clenched. And you just allow yourself to feel the feeling. Because the more you ignore it, the more you push it away, it's still there. It's going to be there. You have to go through it in order for it to go away. You have to go through it in order to get to the other side of it. Because otherwise, it'll always be there. Michael, the letting go is, yes, you want to let go. And it's an important thing to do. And it's something that's like the major lesson I'm learning in life right now. I mean, I'm learning a lot in life right now. But I would suggest reading Michael Singer's books. The Survival Experiment, The Untethered Soul, Living from a Place of Surrender. And right now I'm listening to his lecture series. And it's about the experience of life. And one of the big things that you have to do in life is learn to let go. And that is what I'm working on. It's an interesting process. Like, it's finally I understand how to do it. Like, everybody in my life has always said, oh, you gotta let it go, you gotta accept it. And I'm like, if I knew how to do that, that's what I was doing. That's what I would be doing, right? But I don't know how to do it. So how do you let go? And no one could ever answer that question for me. These books have given me that answer. And there is something you can do. It's not just like, oh, accept it. It's like, how do you just accept it? Like, I don't understand. Like, I don't want this to have happened. I'm feeling all these emotions. How do I just accept it? I don't know how to do it. So the way Singer talks about it again is you feel the tension, you feel the feeling, you feel the tension. You take a deep breath. You notice, you're aware of the feelings, you're aware of the thoughts that are going on in your head, but you don't engage with them. You just let them be. And you relax your body. And as you do that, the more you do that, and it doesn't just, like, when I first started trying to do it, I couldn't figure it out. You got to find this place, they call it the seat of consciousness, because it's your consciousness, and that's who you are. You find this place where you can just observe what's going on. Yeah, exactly. I don't know how to get, it's too frustrating. Same. But what it is about being willing to tolerate the emotion and just relax, like really just take a deep breath, relax your shoulders. Any place that's clenching, any place that's tightening, you relax it and you just feel the feeling. And a lot of times the feeling is a physical feeling. For me, I store a lot of it in my stomach and I can feel it every time I have an emotion like this. I can feel it tense up. And so I've been working on letting that go, accepting the feeling, accepting whatever thoughts I'm having, not getting involved, not going further with the thoughts, just looking at them. Not getting involved with them, just being aware of them. And I mean, it's been a wonderful experience. I mean, I'm feeling all the emotions that I really kind of don't want to feel. They're not fun emotions, but you have to be willing to tolerate them and not get involved. That's the key. Is the thing is, what I've always done is gotten involved with them. Like, I think about them and I concentrate on them. I put all my focus on them. And when you put all your focus on them, that gives them more power. And I'm not saying push it away. I'm not saying ignore it. I'm just saying be aware of it, but don't get involved. Because the more you get involved, for me, the more panicky I felt I didn't feel like I could handle it. I told myself I couldn't handle it. And I tried everything I could to change the outside to match what I wanted inside. And that's just pointless, because life isn't like that. I mean, as much as I would like it to be. Actually, I'm coming to understand that it's good that it's not that way. But if you're waiting for the outside world to match exactly what you want on the inside, you're never going to be happy. You have to learn to be happy with whatever's going on in your life. And I didn't like that answer. To be honest with you, I didn't like that answer. But that's what the answer is. It's the work of your life. Honestly, this is sort of the meaning of life, to be able to free your soul from these pains and be able to be okay with whatever's happening. Be able to be not happy with whatever's going on, but okay with it. Not lose your center. Be in love with the experience of life enough to be, what was the word? Just not enjoy the emotions, but like feel the richness and appreciate them, honor them. That's what it is. Appreciate and honor them, not try and change them. And when you can do that, life gets a lot better, because you don't have to wait for anything to be different. You don't have to try to make anything different. You're just happy. I'm working on it. I'm not saying I'm there, but I'm going there, and I trust that I will be there. And it makes what's going on in the present a lot more bearable. So what I'm dealing with right now is a breakup. And I'm doing these videos for exactly this reason. I'm very happy you're on here, Michael, because this is why I'm doing this. I'm doing it because I have had in the past. We don't say have anymore. We don't say try. We're all in. I have had a lot of difficulty dealing with my emotions in the past. I have been depressed. I was depressed for 10 years, but I don't think I've ever dealt with a breakup in a healthy way. And now that I'm not depressed anymore, that's in the past. I am learning to handle difficult emotional times in a different way. And I know people out there are having the same difficulty. So that's why I'm doing these videos, to sort of give a case study or an example, because we're all going to find our own way. But I want people to know that it is possible, that there are things you can do. You got to find what works for you, but I'm offering you what works for me. And what's working for me is listening to these Michael Singer works, whether it's the books or the lectures, like all the time. When I shut this video off, I'm gonna go listen to it. It helps, and it's been helping my housemate who has similar difficulties. So I highly recommend them. Michael Singer, The Untethered Soul. Living from a Place of Surrender is the story of his life up until when he wrote The Untethered Soul. And then he has that lecture series, and Living from a Place of Surrender. I highly recommend them. They've been literally a godsend for me. But I hope that you're finding this useful. And I'm on pretty much every day, at least once a day, talking about this stuff. Sometimes twice or 3 times a day, sometimes in the middle of the night. It depends. I just want people to know what I'm dealing with, when I'm dealing with it, so they can get an idea of how to deal with it as it comes up. Because people talk about these ideas of how to do it, and not in a cold way. I mean, a lot of times in a sympathetic, very understanding way, but it's different when you're in the crux of it, when you're in that moment of emotional turmoil. And I mean, it's fear, right? It's also fear, like so many different things, so many different emotions. And when you're in the thick of it and you're looking for the best way to deal with it while you're in there, that's what I'm trying to do, is to show an example of that. So today I'm here talking about how sad I'm feeling and the fact that I need to just accept that, because I'm not going to change the situation. There's nothing I can do to change it whatsoever. It's been made abundantly clear to me through the universe. Numerous signs, and they all point to the fact that this relationship is over and it's not going to come back. I was lucky. The relationship was like the healthiest one of my life. We loved each other very much. The way we ended it was very loving, very supportive, very respectful. We honored each other. We expressed our gratitude to one another. We had to end it because of outside circumstances, and those circumstances aren't going to change. Not going to change. And if we made a different choice in these circumstances, it would just end in tragedy. And it would wound him too deeply, and I'm not willing to let that happen. So, and he, for other reasons, isn't willing to do it either. Not for himself, but because of another person. I know, very cryptic, but all I'm saying is the circumstances are changing, and it's very clear to me. It's been made very clear to me on numerous, just blatant signs, like, not get over it, but like, it's done. It's done. And the reality of right now is what I have to accept, because it's the only reality we have, right? This moment in time. Anything in the future is a fantasy. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm not even, I try not to postulate. I do, of course, as you do when you're going through a breakup. But maybe one day, maybe things will change. Maybe this, maybe that. And you know what? Maybe. But probably not. Either way, doesn't matter. Because right now, the reality is it's over and it's not going to change. So I need to do my best. Sorry, dogs, cute dogs. I need to do my best to deal with it in a healthy way, and I'm looking at it as an opportunity because it was done in such a beautiful way. I'm not left with those feelings of panic and feelings of needing love that I have been used to in the past with breakups. Right now, I'm using it as a catalyst for emotional and spiritual growth. And I know that that's what he would want me to do too. He would, not that I'm doing it because he would want it, but I know he would be happy to learn that. So that makes me happy too. So whatever the future holds right now. The important thing is for me to deal with my life and my emotions as healthily as possible. So that's what I'm doing. I hope you're getting something out of it. And I'll be back. I just want you to remember that, now here's the thing. You can be grateful for anything. This breakup, I'm not happy about it. And let's be honest, I don't want it. I don't like it. I wish it weren't happening. But it is helping me. It is catapulting me to another level of spiritual and emotional growth. It is allowing me to focus on the business that I'm creating. It's doing a lot, and I see the reasons for it. So even though I don't like it, I am grateful for it, which means that you can always choose, it is a choice, to have a grateful day.